I just like the bullshit before it starts, so here we go.
Coming through.
God, man, if there's ever a time to screw stuff up, man, that's me. You know what I mean? I got to tell you, this is hotter than hell here in Dallas. My God, it's like 100 degrees outside, Ren. It's just humid, whatever. It's hotter than hell here, man. I'll tell you right, and humid. It's not fun. But pickleball is still going strong here in this lovely state. Oh man, I got the date wrong on this guy's sheet. God, man, I screwed up the run sheet for this guy, and I also screwed up the beginning of our intro. I think everybody, my MO as Curtis Reese from the Pickleball Show here at Reese Racket Sports Studio, screws first impressions up. But my next guest, I'm going to screw his name up, but whatever. He's a badass Italian pickleball player. He's a pickleball guy on LinkedIn and everywhere else. His name is, don't get me wrong, Steve Maniago. What's up, my man?
How you doing? Thanks for having me on. I'm happy to be here.
So where are you at again? Let our listeners and players know where you're at.
I'm in Indianapolis.
Is that in America? I'm just kidding.
Indianapolis, Indiana, United States.
I'm a jerk. I know that. Shit, wrong camera. Anyway, so there'll be a few mishaps here because we, for those of you who don't know, we have gone on our own here from our previous awesome studio vocal. We have gone to Reese Racket Sports Studio, and we are going to be introducing a lot of stuff, primarily pickleball, but also other aspects of racket sports. And speaking of other aspects of racket sports, I want to have our guest here, Steve Maniago, tell us what, when, where, why with pickleball, my man. The pickleball way. Talk to us, Mav.
Yeah. So just a little bit about my story of getting in. I got to give respect and props to my buddy Brady. He bugged me for a while to come out and play.
Does he have a last name or is just Brady?
Huh?
What's his name? Brady what?
Brady O'Cole.
There we go. That's a cool
Yeah.
name. Keep going.
But he kept asking, told me we'd have a great time. And so went out and played socially. And that was a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So from there, me and a couple of the guys there started getting a little more competitive with it. And so we started going on our own and playing. And then we started getting into the tournament scene. And now honestly end up just playing as much as possible with a new 4-month-old son at our house here with my wife. So we've got a lot going on in life, a lot of amazing things. And pickleball is one of those things that I'm very thankful for, that it's come into my life the last year and a half, and where it's come to now with how much I'm playing and where I'm going at it from a business perspective too.
Wow. So hold on now. I got to start this over. So you got a 4-month-old baby, a son?
Yes. Yeah. Noah James, Maniago.
What's his mama's name? What's your wife's name?
Michaela Ann Maniago.
Oh, Michaela, M-A-M, ma'am. Well, congratulations, ma'am. And we'll say your son's name one more time, brother.
Noah James.
Noah James. I love it, man. I love it. Well, congratulations on that, man. Your life's about to just start. But speaking of starting as well, what's this? What's your current? I mean, what do you? I mean, like, do you do? I guess what are you playing tournaments? Or are you training a lot? Or are you doing your? We'll talk about your pickleball guy in a little bit. But tell us, like, you said you got into it about a year and a half ago. Do you use a specific brand of pickleball?
Yeah. So personally for playing, I play mixed doubles. My partner is Mariana Paredes.
Right.
She has a great story too. You should get her on. She is from Venezuela. She moved to Indianapolis,
Nice.
I don't know, 10 years ago or so. But she was on the Venezuelan national badminton team.
Oh, wow.
Racquetball, badminton or racquetball. I don't know, one of those two. But
I don't
yeah,
care.
So
They're coming
got
on
a
the
cool
show.
story as well. But it's been a lot of fun. We played in 2 tournaments this year. We got in gold, just 2 regionals so far here in Indiana. We got gold and then silver/gold this last weekend in Chicago.
What tournament was that?
That was the WPT, the World Pickleball Tour tournament in Chicago.
Wow. And so do you play much of, and again, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm not I'm not the type to judge, but do you tell us what the WPL is, and then kind of like, do you plan on playing APP or the PPA or stuff like that, or
Yeah.
how's that working?
Yeah. So since we're just getting into playing together, we just started like these
Yeah,
last two tournaments or these a month ago. So we just started playing together, but our plan is to get into some APP tournaments. So we're just starting with
that's
these
awesome.
local ones. So
Sure.
the one in Indiana is in Pendleton, Indiana, and then this WPT is the World Pickleball Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the Chicago one.
Well, that's cool, man. What was the weather like there? Was it nice? Was it clammy, or what was it like?
It was indoors, but
Oh,
so
come on.
I think for Chicago, June, you never know. It could be 32. It could be 105.
I know, man. That's a tough. I've never been there, but my wife has been there. She went took her parents to a Cubs game a couple years ago, and they love the club Cubs growing up. But so what type of brand do you endorse for pickleball you play with? Anytime you like,
So yeah, no official sponsorship yet, but I
spread the word.
personally, I'll, I've I've worked with getting a sponsorship with Selkirk, so
Yeah.
that's who I want to just rep and
Oh yeah.
give that,
Yes.
give a little shout out.
They're taking over the whole entire world here, man. They Kevin Klabundy was on a few months back. He's in town. Texas says, "Hey, I'm in town." I'm like, "Okay, what am I supposed to do? Drop everything?" Yeah, they're really hitting it
Yeah,
hard. It's a good company. I think you fit with it. What paddle of Selkirk are you use? What type?
the Invicta Power Air Vanguard.
Nice. Okay, everybody
Yeah,
see that? Sweet. Well, I have a feeling we can help you with that at some point in time here, my man.
I've one of the things I was going to talk about later, but we can get into it since we're here.
Yeah.
Selkirk being a great company, you said that's the coolest thing that I've loved about getting into pickleball world
Mhm.
is, I mean, for Selkirk, I've messaged and talked to Tom Barnes, the CTO. I had met with Kate Wilson, just everyone at that company, and it seems like the pickleball world, yourself included, is so open and receptive
Mhm.
to new people and also growing the sport. Business wise and just for the fun of it because they see an open inclusive sport, and that's what I'm here for too. That's what my brand, the pickleball guy, is about, is inclusivity for pickleball and just having a good time. And yeah, that's about it.
So do you prefer whenever you play? Do you prefer singles, doubles, or mixed? Or since you've only been playing for like a year and a half, do you have a favorite? Because I'm too old to play singles because I had 4 years of college. I'm done with singles, but I still like doubles. But what do you have a preference right now?
Preference is mixed doubles right now, just for the tournament aspect and the competition aspect of it.
Mhm.
But I have a singles group that I play with at 6 a.m. in the mornings, Tuesday and Thursdays. That I I enjoy playing that as well. The um, conditioning, and you get some good players in there that you don't expect it. They just know where to place that ball. So they have me running around the court all the time. So it's a good workout.
That sounds like me. The first time I played pickleball was with Matt Lazzarini. He's an IPTPA master pro, and he's a good guy. And he you look at him, he'll admit it. He's probably about 5'3" or 5'4", and he's a bigger individual. Obviously, that's no disrespect to Matt. I love you, but he told me that, and I went out there. And he destroyed me in 8 minutes because number one, I served and volleyed the whole time. That's all I did in college. That's all I did in juniors. So he let me get my ass kicked doing that. And he looks at me and goes, "You're trying too hard." And I said, "How can you tell?" He goes, "You're sweating like you just got out of church, bro. Come on, man." So anyway, I get it. It's a totally different strategy and more of a workout. You're right. So you like the mixed right now.
Yeah.
So I would say that the next thing we'll touch on is your current focus. Now we can get into how I actually found you and noticed you was through LinkedIn, and I saw your pickleball guy. Tell us about that.
So pickleball guy originally started as the pickleball guys. It was just me taking videos of me and my buddies Brady and the ones that we
Perfect.
met that I play with all the time, just messing around and just seeing what could happen from it.
Yeah.
And then I started enjoying like, oh, well, first of all, a couple of the guys that we played with that I was taking videos of, didn't want to get videoed anymore because of
Oh,
their
okay.
skill. So they requested not to get videoed anymore. So I changed it to the pickleball guy and changed it to just just me. So I wouldn't run into that.
Legal issues there? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
But you can blackmail them.
sign a
Say,
disclaimer, a
don't make
waiver.
me mad.
So
What?
yeah, so now really it turned into a fun side project when I
Mhm,
was in the corporate world
mhm,
8 months ago. I started using it as like a brand, just a brand,
yeah.
pickleball brand, and seeing where I could go from it. So I started with the TikTok and Instagram for the videos, and then transitioned and added a website where I
Wow.
have a blog with how-to posts and just different pickleball related content. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really what it is. And so I've been playing around with driving traffic organically
Mhm.
and through paid search to the website and have really good results with that. So I'm really kind of just waiting to see where it goes from there in a business sense of, all right, do I have affiliate links on here? Do I actually just work with the company or to sell a product on the website directly or what? So there's a lot of different ways it goes from there. And then where you found me on LinkedIn is kind of the newest and most fun part that I found and had enjoyed because, like I said earlier, I'm meeting and interacting with a ton of just really good people. And
I can change that. I'm kidding.
well, another great example is the your buddy that you had on the other day, Ninand from
Yeah.
India.
Yeah, man.
Him and I met on LinkedIn a couple months ago. Just I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, man, you're a high school kid doing the same thing I'm doing in India. It's crazy. What a cool connection across the world."
Yeah.
And we just started talking, and so it it just happened that he was the guest on before you. So kind of just a small world in the pickleball community.
Yeah. It's well, I again going off on my own here now, and I say my own, but I've got a lot of close, good friends like you have with your buddies. Help run the studio and do all that stuff, and I get it, and that's really the only way it works out. But like with Niad and you, it was just I like to watch from afar for a while, and then I've got feelers out to certain people, and I can feel if they're into it or not. If they're not, hey man, you know what? Good luck to you. But if they are, I embrace you and I face you, and we rock and roll together. And this guy right here, Steve is outstanding the way he approaches things. So just kind of like really dissect maybe three parts of the pickleballguy.com. Do you do pickleball programming? Do you do events, or do you just sell stuff? Do you what all does pickleball guy entail?
So the main in person part of the pickleball guy is the coaching aspect,
Okay,
and so here in Indianapolis, I have clinics, private
great.
and open clinics.
Okay,
So really, I like to focus on two different types of players,
sure.
just two groups, beginners and advanced players, so that you can get beginners and people that have never picked up a pickleball paddle and those that have gone out to the park and, just dinked around and have
Yeah,
no idea what they're doing, but
yeah,
have fun.
uh-huh.
And I'm not joking, actually. That's how my wife and I started before our buddy Brady
Yeah.
uh, invited me to play. We went out to go test it out. We bought paddles at Dick's and tested it out and went to a tennis court and just hit around and had no idea. And like I said, look where I'm at now and look where we're all at now. Uh, but anyway, going back to
Yeah,
to
just
that
events
is,
and teaching and what else?
yeah, you can teach the beginners just the straight rules and how to play and get them having more fun playing when they go to a public place and play with people and being comfortable because they know what to do.
Mhm.
And then just the advanced, being able to teach more advanced strategies, more advanced shots. Those people that are good enough on their own, but they will have more fun when
Mhm.
they're winning.
Yeah.
So they need to learn a little bit more and just get a little more skills. So that's those are the two areas that I like to stay in.
Mhm.
And my background from that is I've coached. I When I was in high school, I played tennis here in Indianapolis,
Mhm.
and I coached at the club that I grew up playing tennis at.
That's
I
awesome.
coached tennis lessons there,
Yeah.
high school, or to little 5-year-olds just running
There's
around.
nothing
So
wrong with that, man. We all
I guess
start
I've
that
been
way.
doing this for like 15 years technically. So I do like uh, teaching people. And I mean, that's I mentioned my corporate job before this. I was in pharmaceuticals.
Mhm.
I was in pharma as a regional manager,
Oh, wow.
actually down in your area, down in Texas.
Yeah.
Traveled down there a lot. So I enjoyed teaching the sales reps that I had. And same
That's
thing with this. It's kind of just transitioning into well, more of a fun thing to teach pickleball versus selling pharma drugs.
well, at least they're legal drugs, I guess. So you can't look
Yeah,
at it that
yeah.
way. But yeah, I'm still doing tennis and just working my way into full time pickleball. But with the show and all, we never see what happens. But that's good. So you were in pharmaceuticals, so now you're doing this full time. That's awesome. That makes me happy to hear. So right now, so let's talk about what's your favorite place to play? What's your favorite tournament so far that you've been at? And there'll be more, but currently
There'll
right
be more.
now.
Yeah, favorite place to play is where we started. Really getting into it is Meadowlark Park
Yep.
here in Carmel, Indiana.
Sweet.
But also, I have to. I guess I'll give a shout out to
Do it.
Carmel Racket Club too.
There you go. Carmel Racket Club. Love it. All
Yeah,
right. So let's what's your favorite shot? I'll tell you what mine is. Mine's the lob. The offensive lob at the kitchen line to the odd side corner, depending on the strength of the opponent.
yeah.
And when I said that, with Gene Click at Oasis about 5 or 6 months ago, that next day I saw Simona. I can't say her last name. I forgot. Darn it. I forgot. She said the lob's her favorite. She's some awesome pro. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. She's over there in Florida. Anyway, I'm all nervous. But anyway, she said it was the lob, and I told everybody the lob was awesome. What's your favorite shot?
My favorite shot is so either when I'm at the net, I'm a righty.
There
So
you
to
go.
my left, if there's a low ball where I could either just dink it back down the line
Yeah.
or just get a little like straight wrist action
Mm-hmm.
and get it back cross court. I love flicking it over back cross court.
Yeah.
So just that no one expect people don't expect it coming back at them after a couple. And so just literally just flicking it back over cross court or down the middle. And then second favorite is I don't even know what you call it. People call it different. The shake and bake.
I
I
don't know.
think some
Oh, what is that one? I don't know what that is, man. What is that?
So when I'm at the net
Uh-huh.
and my partner's back,
Okay.
if they're driving,
Okay.
basically driving it to a middle or to the weak hand
Uh-huh.
of which other, basically, hopefully down the line actually,
Yeah, yeah.
to get the little pop up, so I can come over. And I love going from the left side to the right,
Bam.
and I love cutting off the corner too,
Oh,
and
yeah. I love angles.
jumping and making
Oh,
that
yeah.
jump
Shake
shot.
and bake. You know what, man? Steve's the first one to say shake and bake shot. All the rest of them, a lot of them been ATPs, a lot of them been lobs. A lot of them have been like Brandon French had a pretty cool, he called it like, I forgot the name of it, but everybody had their own little knickknacks. So you're right. There is no right or wrong way to name your shot. Want to know why? Because it's your shot, brother. So don't worry about that, man. You call it shake and bake, thrive and drive, whatever you want to call it. All right. So favorite drill and favorite tip for our lovely listeners and players out there. What's your favorite?
Sorry, say it favorite again.
What's your favorite shot and your favorite tip?
Favorite tip: footwork is really the key to going from whatever level you're at to the next level. So beginner to intermediate, intermediate to advanced, and then, I mean, I'm trying to get to the next level. So
I
whatever
think you're
that is,
there.
hopefully I can get the footwork better. But if you're just standing around and not moving your feet
Mhm.
and you're missing balls, that's the first thing you should look at is where were your feet and how are you moving? If you're just kind of walking around and playing, which it's fine if you want to do that, but if you're trying to get better and get a little workout in, have the quick feet and get into a good position, and you're going to hit a lot more balls in. So you're going to have a lot more fun playing as well.
So I'm sorry. I said shot, but I meant to say drill. But you said drill and the tip is the same thing. Yeah, just that's awesome. Just moving your feet. The art's where you start, and I'm sure if you heard this before, the kinetic change starts at the feet to the knees to the hips, so forth and so on. But that's a good tip right there. So now what I want to ask you is, what's your story, man? Where are you from? I know you kind of touched on it, but if you want to talk about your background, college, stuff like that.
Cool. And I've got a drill too.
Do the
Favorite
drill, bro.
drill is in my garage against the walled board that I put up with a Sharpie line of the net. That's my favorite drill.
I
Just
love it.
being able to go out there and just practice. Like it's therapeutic. It's meditation and it's practice and it's fun. So
Do you
that's the
breathe?
favorite
Do you
drill.
believe? Do you hear that? See, that's good hitting against the wall in your garage. So you primarily do forehands. Just kidding. You do backhands, don't you?
No, I do. You do it all.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm starting.
I stand as far back as I can and rip forehands and backhands, and then get up and try to hit it as hard as I can and see if I can get it back to myself.
Yes. Why is the kid not sleeping? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I got two boys. We have two boys, my wife and I. We have Garner. He's almost 15 this year. He's a freshman at Lake Highlands High School. And then we have a 7th grader at Forest Meadow Junior High here in Lake Highlands, Evan. And they do not like tennis or pickleball yet, but that's fine. The tennis road was for me was very, it was a grind in all aspects, but it was worth it. And at the end, play college, and I got some scholarship money, but it was fun. But the way you're describing what you're doing with your transition to pickleball is like everybody else wants to. Happy, and it's tough. Was it scary shifting from your full time to the pickleball world? Was that very nerve wracking?
The story of that is pretty crazy because it wasn't.
It's your story, man. It's your time.
Yeah. Well, it's a story of like success in the pharma world and working my way up and not being happy in the job that I was doing, and then realizing it. Well, I'll say it too, because it's a important part of my journey, but starting going to therapy, was a major part in, understanding what made me happy and realizing that what I was doing and making a lot of money doing
Yeah.
it was not the thing and was the main thing after cutting out a lot of other, bad habits and things like that. So I walked out of a meeting,
Like Cynthia.
in-person meeting at our national headquarters, because I was a manager, a regional manager, and on my way to be
Sure.
higher up in the company.
I understand.
And yeah, so
Flipping the
just
bird and took off and put a pickleball paddle.
uh,
No, I'm out of
no,
here, man.
so I had no. So I first had to give a shout out, and
Do it.
because my wife,
Where's she
thank
at?
you to my wife. She's
Come on
not
in.
here. She's in
Okay.
the other room, but
Okay.
for when she listens to this,
She can say hi.
because I wouldn't be able to do this without her.
Fair
She
enough.
supports everything.
I'm in the
that
same
I do.
boat, brother. Truth. I'm in the same
So
boat.
quitting
man.
my job on the spot was not part of our life plan.
Dude,
so,
don't even get me started on that, man. I know.
Yeah. So now, happier than I have ever
Yes.
been. I'm doing whatever I want to do in terms of like business and figuring it out. And we have, we're financially secure. So it's good. And